Hello, let's have a look at how we write ratios. To write ratios is to compare two amounts. For example, we have these cute little dogs and cats. So to every 2 dogs, we have 3 cats, and we write it as 2 to 3. But we could also compare it the other way around, such as 3 to 2, as in 3 cats, 2 dogs. Or we could say there are 2 dogs to all the pets there, as in 2 to 5. Or we can say 3 to 5, as in 3 cats to the total number of pets there. So the first 2 examples, I've talked about the dogs and the cats separately. So we looked at the 2 parts individually. So these are called part-to-part ratios. Whereas the last 2 examples where we looked at one of the animals, which is one part, to the total, is called part-to-whole. We could also use fractions and percentages. So looking at the first 2 examples before, we could say the number of dogs is 2/3 or 67% of the number of cats. And the reverse would read, the number of cats is 3/2 or 150% of the number of dogs. So as you notice, 2 to 3 for dogs and cats becomes 2/3. And when we talked about cats and dogs, 3 to 2, it became 3/2. And when we compared parts of wholes, 2 to 5 and 3 to 5, again, 2 to 5 is 2/5 or 40%. And 3 to 5 is the number of cats is 3/5 or 60% of the number of pets. Sometimes there are lots of items such as 6 dogs and 9 cats, but instead of writing 6 to 9, it's easier to compare when we write it as 2, 3, so just one of these sections. And how do we do that? We can simplify 6 and 9 by finding the highest common factor, which is 3, and then dividing both sides by 3. It's very much like simplifying equivalent fractions. Let's have a look at this. Delicious. What is the ratio of Snickers to Bounties? There are 5 Snickers and 20 Bounties, so it's 5 to 20. But we always have to simplify. So we look at 5 and 20 and think, what are the factors of 5? What are the factors of 20? And we can see that the highest common factor between them is 5. Therefore, we divide both sides by 5 to get 5 divided by 5 is 1, 20 divided by 5 is 4. So we have a ratio of 1 to 4. And it's quite easy to see that it's 1 Snickers to 4 Bounties. So every time you have another Snickers, there's another 4 Bounties. Another Snickers, another 4 Bounties. So the ratio is 1 to 4. What ratio of chocolates are Snickers? So this time we're looking at Snickers, comparing it not to Bounties, but to all of it. So it is 5 to 25. Again, to simplify, we have to look for the highest common factor, which is 5 in this case. Again, 5 divided by 5 and 25 divided by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1 and 25 divided by 5 is 5. So the ratio is 1 to 5. So for every 5 chocolates, we have 1 Snickers. What about fractions? What if we have 1 and 2/3 to 5? How do we compare that? That's tricky. So firstly, we can convert it into improper fractions. 1 times 3 is 3 plus 2 is 5. So 5/3 to 5. Now, again, it's pretty hard to compare, so we have to get rid of that 3. To do that, we have to multiply both sides by the same number. So we multiply by the denominator, or the 3. So if I multiply 5/3 by 3, I'm going to get 5 by itself and no more fractions. So we'll do that. So 5/3 is plus 5. 5 times 3 is 15. And when we look at that, we realize, hang on, we can simplify. 5 divided by 5 is 1 and 15 divided by 5 is 3. So we have 1 to 3. Whenever simplifying fractions, remember, turn it into improper fractions and then multiply by the denominator to get rid of that fraction. What about decimals? What if I had 1 to 0.5 to 1.25? The easiest way to get rid of decimals is to look at how many decimal points each of the numbers have. Well, this one has none, the 0.5 has 1, and the 1.25 has 2. In that case, we multiply all the numbers by the same value, and in this case, we're going to multiply by 100 so that we move the decimal point twice to the right. So 1 times 100 is 100. 0.5 times 100, moving the decimal point twice, gives 50. And 1.25 times 100, moving the decimal point twice again, is 125. And then we have to simplify again. Well, we can see that they're divisible by 5, but also something a bit bigger. The next value I can think of is 25. Yes, 25 is the highest common factor. 100 divided by 25 is 4. 50 divided by 25 is 2, and 125 divided by 25 is 5. So we have 4 to 2 to 5. So remember, whenever we deal with ratios, we can simplify and change decimals by multiplying by the same number. What about different units? Let's say we have 10 centimeters to 1.1 meters. Which unit would you pick? If I pick the bigger unit, then I would have to divide the 10, which gives me a decimal, and I don't like decimals. If I pick the smaller unit, which is centimeters, that would stay the same. And when I convert that into centimeters, I would get rid of the decimal point. So always use the smaller unit. So 10 centimeters stay the same. We're going to convert the 1.1 into centimeters, which we do that by multiplying by 100. So we have 10 centimeters, and multiplying by 100 means move the decimal point twice, 1, 2, to get 110. And then we notice that we can simplify again. So get rid of the 0 on both sides, or dividing by 10 on both sides, we get 1 to 11. So whenever you see different units, convert to the smaller unit. That's it from me today. See you next time.